Kelela City Bayete Konyamaye Zulu Salvana Jesu Sia Kupingelela City Bayete Konyama Oh Salvana Jesu Sia Kupingelela City Bayete Konyama Yeba Salvana Jesu Sia Kupingelela City Bayete Konyama Hello, 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 City Bayete Konyama Hello, 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 City Bayete Konyama Dumela, 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 City Bayete Konyama Hallelujah, yeah, hey. Hallelujah. Yo, 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 yo. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
Good evening. My name is Onika Modoni, and welcome to the podcast Spicy and Chilled, the very first podcast that we do again. That's like a show. Kaya 3 August ska lebala tsena hle. Honolo monate re na le Dr. Kgabage Thapelo. Welcome to the show, Ndedwak.
Thank you, Miss Onika.
Yeah,
for the invitation today.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm blessed.
Yeah, I'm also blessed that you were here.
Yeah.
Such an honor to have this fantastic guy who has qualifications, who is also an author. I'm just going to quickly go through his books. The first book, Elorongwile Publisher. Is it the first book, the Benjamin?
Yeah, it's actually the very, very first book when I actually decided to start putting a pen into a paper.
Okay.
So, yeah, it is the very, very first one. Let me leave it to you.
Of course. This person is a writer, the Benjamin Generation. That's the first book that he started to write. And then also the Junior Rice. Do I pronounce it right? Junior Rice, the Apostolic Woman in the Front Line. That sounds very interesting. Co-author with the USA Ministries. And Speak to the Mountains, the anthology. The Attributes of the Sent One. Ooh, brother!
Yeah.
I can imagine. This sounds interesting. The Attributes of the Sent One.
Of the Sent One, yeah.
Wow, this is amazing. And you also have the website of these books, Musne.
I do have a website of these books to bring more knowledge concerning these books. Yeah, the Benjamin Generation is one of the books that I am one on it. It's actually my very own
book. Yeah.
The other 3 I actually co-authored with international ministers from United States. It's actually a lot of ministers. When we call it, it's actually an anthology. The 3 of them, Apostle Excel Sipach, will just gather a number of ministers together, and we each contribute towards the book. So, yeah, the 3 of them, all of them, they are available out there on Amazon. Yeah, and I also has the rights. I do sell them as well. But the Benjamin Generation was released in 2016. Yeah, if I recall properly, 2016. It's one of the books actually that I can say they did cause a stir. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's great. Okay, this man who is here, Dr. Kgabage Thapelo, he is the co-founder and the CEO of BBGMA. We all know what is that. Last year, that was his very first annual annual show. Ne?
Yeah.
So just before we go anywhere else, I just want to go through again your companies. You have the company that calls the Kings, and you have different companies on it, or what's going on in there?
Yeah, I can say I do a lot in terms of my life. Since you are mentioning, let's talk only firstly in terms of the companies, as you are saying, and forget a bit about other things that I do in terms of the career.
Yes.
But the company, the Kings, is written DA Kings. We write it in a nice way. It's not actually DA. It's actually the Kings. The horse, yeah. So this company I also started is actually the first one I registered it in 2014 with the same name, the Kings. Yeah, it's still there, but it's not operational. Then I decided to restart with another one in 2016, which is the one that is actually doing a lot of the work, right? It is actually, I call it a group of company. It is actually a group. It has a number of divisions into it. One of the things that it does is actually accounting services. It has assisted and established lots and lots of companies across, I can say, the entire country. Yeah, I had clients all over, South Africa, including other provinces, doing accounting services, registrations, taxation, because I do a number of things. I'm actually a professional accountant. I'm actually a business accountant in practice. I'm also a general tax practitioner. Yeah, so so it specializes in those things, including audit. So audit, yeah, people will wonder what kind of an audit it does. It does normal audit. One of our clients, I can tell you, is actually a bank in South. Let's say a cooperative bank. We've been auditing it for the past 3 years. It's also one of our clients. So you can see it's many divisions. It's accounting services, it's auditing services, it's advisory, it's taxation. That's where actually most of the services there as well, taxation. Then the other thing, it is a division of insurance. We call it the King's Funeral Policies. It's a licensed company. We are authorized. We've got our license with FSCA. Yeah, so it's also doing wonders. Yeah, well underwritten. Yeah, it's greatly growing as well. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm actually involved into many things apart from BBGMA. So BBGMA is another project that we also do.
That's nice. So you're a man of the man of many
talents.
The man of many talents.
That's what people might say, man of many talents, right?
Yeah.
But in most cases, it's all about taking the knowledge that you've gathered over the years from your career and actually utilizing it, because all along I've just been loving business from a young age. Growing up, I've been just into business. But with limited knowledge, more especially when you're growing in the villages, you don't get to know much. But one thing that I can tell you, I had a list of companies that I really want to own one of the days, of which we are slowly getting there. That's what I'm saying. This company of the Kings, is the one that is actually pushing me toward those lines, because I can do everything with it. It has gained a lot of great reputation and potential in it. So it has serviced lots and lots of well-known and well-established companies, as well as, even radio stations. We've been there. We've assisted a lot of companies, honestly. That's why I'm saying, if I can mention them, the day will start and it will end again.
Now I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the future. Guys, did I even welcome you on the show? If you're sitting out there, I did not welcome these people.
You just got into the spirit and you began to talk.
And I was excited for you. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry for not welcoming you on the show. If you're just tuning in, I'm welcoming you with warm hands, warm hearts. But I'm giving you a hug and I say welcome to the show for to get to know this aspiring young man. As you can see, Muzi is a young man. He's not old, and he has done a whole lot. Anyway, I'm not judging anybody. Okay, so we're gonna talk about BBGMA. The main focus why we are in this podcast, namhlanje. So You started your own BBGMA last year, and then this year. Did you see yourself doing this?
The honest truth, I never saw myself doing this, and it's one of the things that actually were never actually in my list, as I mentioned earlier, that I had a list of companies that I want to own, of which, to me, I don't look at the magnitude of the industry. Any industry I can get into. Like I'm mentioning now, the insurance industry, I'm also there, I'm settled.
Imagine.
And it's one of the most difficult, wide, dominant industries. Quite difficult to flourish in that industry. But we're here, we managed to get even licenses for that. So BBGMA Youth was never actually one of the plans. But it's something that, you know, it came over time. Of which it was developed from the love of music. My challenge is that I believed that I could sing.
But you believe that you
I believe that because when you sing in church, you'll think that you know how to sing. But
I know, I can be singing for the Lord.
No, but things changed recently over the years. You know, I used to sound better back in the days. I don't know what happened. I really used to sing to sound better, but then things changed. So it actually developed from the love of music, you know, the association with music artists, let me put it that way. And again, the knowledge that I was acquiring over the years, and again, the dryness that I would pick up in the province to simply say, you know, our province definitely it needs something, right? Because BBGMA did not start only last year 2021. BBGMA, I can say the vision began in 2018, right? So that's where now actually this thing began to be there. Because of, you know, the love for music, my association, and you know, the relationships that I had created automatically within the music industry. So then I saw that gap within the province to simply say, before, since like there were other awards in the province, but since like they never actually flourished or they never went anywhere, and seemed like you know, the province was going down in terms of, you know, music. That's where now I decided actually, but let me put it in this way. I never do anything without, you know, I can say the influence. I feel the oomph within. I can say God actually pushed this thing into me. So it came very strongly 2018, kept on procrastinating it. I believe we registered it in 2019. And we registered it, and right away, you know, I'm a man of faith. I began to start working in the paperwork right away because, you know, I can say God has gifted me in that area of doing, you know, the entire paperwork. Let me say the administrative ability. So that's when now we began setting up the foundation, where we want to achieve, where we want to go, because it's a lot. It's not just only about, you know, awarding the artists. We also want to be part of the you know, part of the community. To us, BBGMA is not a business. To us, BBGMA, we can say this is a community engagement project, of which we are intending on, you know, contributing positively towards the lives of, you know, the society, towards the economy of the province, towards, you know, the livelihood of many people within the music industry. So it's not about, you know, business to us. As I mentioned, we are running a lot of companies. So, and I'm glad the team that is also surrounding me, they are also doing their own companies, right? So we cannot really say this is where we will eat. We are running successful companies, let me put it that way. Yes, they are still growing, but there's potential there, and we see direction that is taking place in there. So BBGMA honestly is something that developed out of love, and the people, each and every team member who is actually there, they are there because they love music. They are there because they love the province. They are there because they also want to contribute socially so, and let me say in many ways towards, you know, the community at large, you know, mainly the province, because other provinces, they are doing well. There was in almost all these provinces, and they are doing well. And even in terms of music, those majority of artists in the province, they are doing well. But when you check Northwest is like, too many opportunities are not coming here. But with BBGMA, we are positive that the province will also, start to be
Get some
recognized.
recognized.
Yeah.
Recognition. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. So last year, this question you could able to higher on the list.
Yeah.
It came up from the conversation,
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
statements.
Yeah.
Last year you did this show, and did you get any feedback from the artist saying that, you know what, this is what any positive feedback from the artist?
Positive feedback is always there. We get it every time now
That's
and then.
good.
I do get calls from even artists currently. They are complimenting us in terms of most of the things.
Yeah.
The level of our response, the professionalism, we try by our level best, although we are trying to expand the team, because most of the time, as I'm telling you, we are involved into many things, but we try by all means to be available also for the artists. So we are getting seriously a positive, feedback.
Feedbacks.
That's why most of the artists that were there even last year, they decided to come back again this year. So they loved us. Honestly, they believe in BBGMA. I can tell you, I can guarantee you, the calls that we get, people are very happy in terms of BBGMA. That's one of the reasons why we also decided even to expand national, because national artists also were also, querying a lot to simply say, guys, why don't you just expand this project, right? So that we can also participate, of which, again, we saw a great number from national artists. You saw the nominees that came through. We received a huge number of nominations, as you can see. Although some we had to cut them out because of the criteria, we understand that. But the honest truth is that because they saw something in BBGMA, I believe honestly BBGMA can be the best in the country.
It will be in the country. I love the last statement, guys. In the country.
I mean, we can expand, in Africa, even internationally. Why should we limit God?
Why?
Why should we limit
I
God?
love that. I mean, I can't Lemutwila is a man of God, guys. This is a man of faith. Lemutwila, guys. So how did this change your mindset doing this show? It changed your mindset to how you feel. I mean, I'm definitely sure you got some challenges last year. Woo, guys, I can imagine. I could see your frustration from a distance. I'm kidding. But how did it change your mindset?
Yeah, there will be a lot of frustrations. There will be a lot of, let me say, frustrations, more especially when you are trying to build something from the scratch. It's quite difficult. It has a lot of challenges, more especially if even the budget is very low, right? Relying on your own pockets and your team's pockets. So it's quite difficult, honestly, to build something. Of which I believe is one of the biggest challenges that we are having in the entire country. So many great ideas, but no funding that is actually available, right? So that's actually where the challenge is. But the honest truth is that this showed us that anything is possible. The impossible are possible with God, especially if you can trust in Him and put your faith in Him, because we are all Christians, even the entire team. They are ministers, most of them. Actually, we saw that if we really put trust into God, whatever that people might look to be impossible for us, it can be definitely possible. So there's nothing that is actually difficult. And I believe after the success of last year, it actually amazed us, to simply say, what we thought could be a very small thing can actually become such big.
The power of taking a step.
I can guarantee you, I think a few minutes before we went to the venue, I think we left the venue, it was around 3 o'clock, right? When we went back around the 4, we found, the venue people were packed. We were really surprised, but it shows that indeed anything is possible.
It is.
If God says yes, no man can say no. That is why we came back this year to simply say, we can never actually neglect or back down from what actually God did last year. We're anticipating more. We are expecting greatness even this year, even more greater than last year.
I'm excited for you. What's again about interviewing a man of God? Their positiveness, it's contagious. I love that. Okay, so what is that one thing that you would love to change moving forward?
You know, it's a difficult one because in most cases I never look at the negativity in terms of any other thing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm simply, most of the time I look at every challenge, you know, and I faced it head on. Because I don't believe that there's no solution to any problem or to any challenge.
True.
So we just have to sit down and actually figure out. The only thing that I can simply say we need to work on is the issue of our timelines, right? In terms of BBGMA. I think sometimes we put a lot of pressure on us, although we've got other commitments in terms of work and other companies that we are running out there. Yeah, so I think that will be one of the things that we really can change, because I can never say much about other things because the team is committed. Everyone is actually committed. Everyone is doing great. I'm not going to lie to you. Availability, they're always available in their phones, you know. We hold our meetings even after hours, you know, late at night. You know, I saw a lot of, commitment from the team. Using their own resources, their own data, you know, their time of their families, because majority of people within the team, they do have families. They are married men. They are married, so it's one of the things. So, but and you can never say you have a meeting for 30 minutes or 1 hour. Our meetings go over and over and over and over because there's always something new. The team is creative. It is, they've got creativity. They bring creativity all the time. They bring a lot of things most of the time. So that's one of the things actually in terms of the team that we are having. Very great team, I can tell you.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're just gonna quickly take a break for now. We're gonna tell thank you so much. Speaking of that quickly, I just want to say thank you for appreciating those team. Okay, we're just gonna quickly take a quick break right now, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Need a photographer for an event? Then we've got you covered. At NAB Photography, we do all shoots, events, weddings, studio shoots, outdoors and indoor shoots, and many more. For more information, call or WhatsApp 078 104 2546. Follow or DM us on any social media platform at NAB Photography on Facebook, NAB_photography on Instagram, or email us on nabphoto@gmail.com. Join the NAB family and we've got you covered.
Who said? No. Welcome back from the break, guys. That was a quick break. I'm sorry about that. And by the way, we were talking about your creative team, and I thank God that you are appreciating that creative team. And then the question was, what would you like to change moving forward? You mentioned you don't look on the negative side, right?
Yeah.
Which is good. But from that, what is it that I wanted to ask? Come on, question.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
I can see I get into the spirit now. Talking about negativity, obviously there will be a number of challenges if I were to chip in again. Yeah, but I believe we deal with them professionally. So, because I can guarantee you, most of the people that I mentioned even last time when I was we were doing the nominees announcements, they're actually professional people. So they understand certain principles in terms of when you are working. Let's say when we are in a particular organizations, right? So we know how to behave each and every one of us, which makes our life easier, right? So there'll be challenges there and there, but I think most of the thing that we also might be looking at is actually expanding our team. But this is actually something that we are looking at, because the more they are greater, let me say, the more BBGMA is growing, the more the responsibility. It simply means that some of the responsibility we cannot just carry them on ourselves alone, right?
True.
Even apart from us carrying them, we also need people who can assist us in terms of certain responsibilities. Because honestly, doing things alone, you'll die quicker, you'll die young, honestly. Yeah, the body becomes too weighed, honestly. It becomes too tired. Yeah. But with regards to team, honestly, I think it's something that most of the time we don't appreciate. We really always need to appreciate our teams. Yeah, our team is doing great, and each and everyone has their own responsibility, of which at the end they need to be accountable and account to the team as a whole, to simply say, okay, me for media, this is how far I've gone. Me for marketing, this is how far I've gone. Me in terms of artist management, this is how far I've gone. Because you've got different functionalities within the team.
Yeah.
You've got legal, people who focus. Remember, we are working with sponsors, right?
Yes.
The sponsors, they draft contracts and stuff. We've got the legal personnel, which is Dr. John. He's actually an advocate and a researcher, and a doctor-in-law as well. So he's handling our legal affairs. We've got media, of which we've got Mr. Rofia Siaruli as well, focusing on in that area.
Yeah.
We've got Pastor Sila, who's actually a chartered accountant and auditor at the same time, right?
Look at you.
Focusing in terms of issues of budgets and management of finances and all those. Because in actual fact, the reason why most companies, I'll talk about companies in general, fail is because of lack of using professional people. I can put it in that sense, right?
Yeah.
Because you can never want to manage finance if you're not equipped in that area.
True.
Right? You need someone who's well equipped, right?
True that.
The fortunate part is that me as the leader, I'm equipped in all those in most of the areas, but I'm still getting assistance, right, and advisory from and relying on their expertise. I'm also an accountant by profession. I've been also an auditor for a number of years, audited all this number of institutes.
When you say number of years, it sounds like, oh my goodness, probably it's 50 now.
No, not 50 per se, but I've been there and there, I've been to government institutes, private companies, government institutes. From audit, I went to finance. I even served our Department of Finance, the Northwest Department of Finance, as senior state accountant there. Held a number of institutes in terms of accounting. So, but the point that I was trying to bring is that although I might be equipped in that area, I'm still relying on someone again within the same field that I'm in to actually assist, right? Fully so, to focus fully so in terms of finances and stuff, right?
It takes a humble person to do that.
Yeah, that's actually what most people don't do, right? Most institutions, because you cannot never run all the departments alone, right?
Can't.
Even if you might be having a knowledge concerning some of the things, knowledge assists you in terms of understanding what the others are also bringing. Although again we might be having, although again we are having such kind of expertise within the field, right?
Yeah.
There's also an advisory, a lot of I can say well-established people in terms of these industries that we also consult with, right? When we need the issue, let me talk about music. We also expand, we go out, we check other companies, right?
Yes.
When we need finances, advices as well, we do talk to people who are also in the industry. We've got people who I don't want to mention names, who are audit partners, right?
Yeah.
Big audit firms that we engage with, right? That's why most of the things we try to be professional, because we deal mainly with professional people. So when we go to the public, we also need to present ourselves the way we are. We are professional people, so when we come to BBGMA, we are not supposed to put away that professionalism, separate it, because us being professionals, right?
Yeah.
Even we conduct ourselves in this manner everywhere, in
Yeah.
every institute that we get involved in. Remember, we are affiliated with a number of bodies that also regulate us, check our conducts. This was quite difficult, honestly, in terms of life.
Yeah.
When you are in a certain profession, you need to know how to behave, how to conduct yourself, even on social media, everywhere. It says a lot about you, honestly.
About you, too.
Yeah.
Man, that's wonderful. Okay, I also wanted to know, BBGMA, what, let's say you get a sponsor. What do you think exactly do you need from sponsors?
It's obvious. We
It's
need
money, I know, but I want to know, I know it's money. I know it's money, but I want you to be more specific. Is it possible for you to be more specific, or rather not?
I'm not really sure in terms of specific. Yeah, but let's not expose a lot of details.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
let me not
It's
expose.
okay. It's okay.
But I can
Do you want to
roughly.
pay artists?
Yeah, that's actually why we are
What?
saying if we can get mostly financial sponsorships,
Yes.
that's actually the most important thing, because from there on, that's where you can look at in terms of budgeting, because already we have done the budget. Actually, we have the budget, let me put it that way, for the year.
Yeah.
In terms of the artists, even the show itself, organizing the event on the day.
Yeah.
It's not something that comes easy and cheap. It's quite expensive, honestly. There are a lot of people involved. There are a lot of resources that needs to be brought in. Few that we can mention: branding, it costs a lot, right?
Yeah.
The sound systems also cost a lot.
It does.
The venues cost a lot, refreshments cost a lot.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot actually that goes into the event. That's why I'm saying, honestly, the most important thing, we can never run anything without money. Funny part is even given in the scriptures, right? Let me
Come on. Come on.
Yeah, in the book of Ecclesiastes,
Yeah.
the Bible says money answers all things. In honest truth, you can never do anything without money. We really need money. I can put it in that way.
Please
But
go
the
back.
nice
The
part
money-
about us
No,
is the issue of accountability. We are very accountable.
Yes, we
honestly,
are.
yeah.
Ke kopa go kena scripting seo hape. Wa re ke Christians. I want these people to understand that.
Yeah, I believe it's chapter 10, verse 19. It simply say, money answer all things, right? I know people simply say, pastors love money, accountants love money,
No.
when people see us, they associate us with money. No, it's not. Ronald, we are born again accountants, yeah, we are born again, so.
Guys, being poor doesn't make you holy.
No, being poor, honestly, doesn't. People will try by all means to say, the reason I was going to that part that I went to is because people say money is evil. No, the scripture never said money is evil. The love of money, that's where actually the problem is. And if again we learn to the core, it's all about us making money, I can tell you we wouldn't be here, because I can tell you we are pushing from our pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why initially when I said this is like a community engagement project to us, right? It's actually some sort of corporate social responsibility on our side, right? It's all about not us benefiting, but mainly the community, the artists, right? Because if you can check, it's not only the artists that will be benefiting the most. The province is benefiting as a whole,
Yeah.
right? The general ministers are also benefiting there.
Absolutely.
Remember, that's the main reason why we even went for gospel specifically in terms of other genres. To simply say we are BBGMA Bokoni Bupirima gospel music, because we want to bring the same principles of the kingdom, the same principle of Jesus Christ in terms of taking care of the poor, looking after each other. That's actually the fact, the main point where we are. That's why we simply say community engagement. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, because
Why
we can
not?
see. Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not?
It's all about
Guys?
contributing positively. So
Absolutely. Why not? Oh my goodness. So
yeah.
this one is very cliche. Everybody asks.
But it's obvious with the rate that we
Yeah.
are going in. Honestly, I don't have doubts. Honestly, I don't have doubts. And with the people that are actually surrounding BBGMA, I don't have doubts, right? It's obvious. It's obvious. It's obvious. I can say with whatever that is currently happening. BBGMA is going very far, I can tell you.
I'm glad.
Because already since last year, actually, before we even begin with the main event, people were already recognizing us as a big brand already.
That's nice.
And from well-established, well-known artists, right? They saw BBGMA honestly as a well-established brand. So we don't have any, doubts in terms of the growth and the magnitude of this project, because each and every year we are expecting greater and greater and greater things. But I believe the reason we're just going to be greater is because of we put God ahead of everything, ahead of us,
proper.
and we every time we make sure that it is Him who gets more of the glory. That's why most of the time I try to tell the people that I'm just the face, right? Today I might be out, but BBGMA should continue, right?
Amen to that.
Yeah, God can replace anyone at any time, but this project, this vision should continue for ages to come.
I'm
and
glad.
I can tell you, with
Generation to
the foundation
generations.
we are laying, this thing is not just gone.
I
Why
see it.
It's because of the foundation, I can tell you.
I see it.
Yeah.
Nami ngiyayibona kaloku. If I'm seeing it, guys, Shem, umama chatting. Now I see it. I see it, and I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for BBGMA. I'm excited, guys. I just can't wait for everything that will unfold itself as time goes on.
Yeah.
And okay,
Yeah.
I not say bounds.
It's possible.
Yeah, give it the next one as well. I wanted to ask Jorge.
Yeah.
Do you? How do I put it? How Kgabage put it? Why? How do I say it?
Put it. Yeah.
The way, ne?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say let's say you are you are being gone the question.
No, but it's possible, just to chip in there.
Yeah.
Because even within the team, right? That's why I'm talking about the level of professionalism that is in there. These are internal matters, but it's the way we run and we conduct this thing, right? Professionalism, right? If you are conflicted, we allow you even to excuse your meetings, anyone, right? And if we say we sideline you, we cut you.
Oh, this is the question I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Would you ukatwa more on your profession to just focus on the art industry?
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Okay.
As long as God actually gives me a go ahead to actually focus in that industry. Yeah, because I believe there's a lot to be done within the arts industry.
Yes,
as a whole.
absolutely.
There's a lot, more especially within the Northwest Province. I don't mind, leaving my usual work, right? Of which. Do
you love your job? It's something.
No, I love my job. Honestly, I love my job.
Not sure.
The honest truth is that I'm an obedient person, towards God. If He simply says, go this direction, I go this direction. That's actually one of the things, right? So I love my job. I'm in the academic. I'm a lecturer at the university, lecturing accounting. To both final year accounting students, right, as well as the law students who are doing accounting the final year. Yeah, I liaise with advocates there and there. Yeah. So I teach them accounting as well. So academics, it has been there within me.
You,
it has been there all along. I can attest from the days of my high school. Yeah, I remember very well. Teachers used to give me some periods to actually teach fellow learners. I used I used to love teaching. So, but the passion, it was accounting, right? I would just see myself as a chartered accountant, right? Yeah. So I had an opportunity actually to go and do law, but I declined it for accounting. So passion has been in accounting, and accounting is one of the things that I was actually excelling with, even from back in the days in high school. That's actually why I opted for it. Then obviously I needed an experience, went into auditing after my qualification of obtaining my CA degree, then did my honors in financial accounting, right? I'm talking only about the field of accounting, apart from other qualifications I might have actually obtained out there for insurance, as well as for ministry and others, right? So I focused mainly on accounting, right? Then later on, but the passion, it was already there. And even in terms of being within the accounting field, in the practice world, I was still assisting the university there and there. Yeah, I was still assisting even privately. So some of the students who will be studying at other institutions such as business and stuff, they will contact me and I will assist them with accounting. So when the opportunity came for me to join the university, I saw something that it has actually been in me, right? Then I just went, and I'm settling and I'm enjoying, honestly. I'm just having fun, doing what I'm called to do. Because I believe career is a calling, honestly.
It is.
Yeah.
It
If you
is.
take someone who's not called to be a teacher and throw him into a teaching or lecturing, you will have a
gonna be a
serious
mess.
disaster.
Yeah,
Serious.
it's gonna be a mess.
So, in terms of me living, if God simply say, now, son, it is enough, finish here, go and focus on the arts industry, I wouldn't mind. The same as if he can simply say, go and focus on the insurance industry, I wouldn't mind. I will live gladly so and focus on the industry.
Wow, it seems like. Let me ask this also. When did you have a relationship with God?
Oh. I think when I was 10 years, actually even before that, right? Growing up, I grew up in a family where governance it was churchy, but I can say we had a family church, right? But this one, yeah,
Okay,
in
but
apostolic, yeah. So I grew there, right? We were very few brothers in the family, 7 in numbers actually. We were. Yeah, the one we were part of the church, right? Yes, there were people outside, but that's where actually from the young age we were thrown into the line, in terms of preaching, right? We used to preach a lot, and at that very young age, even in conferences, Manzwa Supilung will just be thrown in the line to
I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I remember I couldn't do
but
it.
we didn't understand back in
Yeah.
the days, honestly, but that's where actually I believe the foundation and the grooming of preaching actually began. Then I believe when I was 10 years, that's when now I received Jesus Christ as my Lord and personal Savior. That's when now the entire ministry then changed for me. Then I began actually, focusing on the gospel and doing the most for the church, ministering.
But
Yeah.
it's you are such a simple person. You go with the flow.
Flow. Yeah.
You're just flowing.
Yeah.
I'm having difficulties when it comes to that. I have to read one of your books. Maybe I might find out the secret.
No, the honest thing is I'm talking about calling, right?
Yeah.
The things needs to flow easily. You see, if you are struggling with something, then know very well that you are not actually called for it, because it needs to flow easily, right? For you, I cannot say you might not be called. You will be called for that. But again, calling, it needs also nurturing. It needs also to be, the more you do something is the more it flows naturally, right? I'm talking about some of the things that you might be struggling with. For example,
yeah.
I might be struggling with, I don't know which one I can talk about, but I might find myself struggling in that area. But sometimes I might find myself doing that and succeeding in that area, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm called for, right, that kind of an area. That's why I realize some of the things is just going back to God and asking, and He will surely guide you to simply say, this is what you need to do. But in terms of, practicing is very important. Even in terms of preaching. If I was not taught to preach back in the days, even if I would be called to be a minister like I am today, it was going to be difficult to stand and minister before people, right? And I can tell you, ministering is not an easy thing, honestly. It's not.
From
It's
a
not.
distance.
Yeah. And it becomes difficult even now when you are being called to minister in another ministry,
Yeah.
I think I used to do before I just decided to leave everything, because I don't want to be a celebrity. I didn't want to be a celebrity. Even one of the reasons.
Here you are.
No. Here I'm a minister. No, I'm a minister. I'm not a celebrity. I used to run around with a lot of, promoting the book in different radio stations, Joburg, all over these places.
I hear you.
But I realized now people start to treat you like I'm not a celebrity. I'm the minister of the gospel. That's why most of the time I try to be out of the spotlight as much as I can. You can see even my Facebook. I think the last time I logged in.
Do you even have a Facebook?
I do have Facebook. The one that is
Lord.
mostly active is the one of the company, the insurance company. But the personal one, 1 year, I take time to update because sometimes people tend to treat you as I'm not a celebrity.
I also don't like that also, guys. Stop it, guys. We're human beings.
So we are here
Human
to serve,
beings.
honestly. It's all about, service that, our service, to the community, our service as we have just been assigned by the Lord, actually.
Yeah. Last question before we go, just shortly. Would you do, beside BBGMA, would you do certain events? Or are you really focusing on BBGMA and writing and or would you do something else?
In terms of writing, I cannot stop writing, but in terms of other, but yeah, in terms, now I've got a lot of projects in the pipeline.
Okay.
It's just time, doing so many things because I'm mentioning very few.
Writing, you can't stop writing, guys.
You can't stop writing, honestly. Honestly, it's just a matter of time. But other things, I don't like, being territorial, let me put it that way, of which is something that I saw being one of the biggest hiccups, more especially within our province. I'll talk about the province. Someone wants to do everything. No. The honest truth is that I'm encouraging the team to do some of the things, right? Then we'll be there to support them. Not that we don't have the ability. Not that I don't have the ability to do that. No, my focus is BBGMA, right? That's actually where I'm focused, right? But when someone comes and approaches to simply say, even within the team or even outside the team, to simply say, we are busy with this kind of a project, can you be part? Yes, we'll gladly assist, right? Because the intention is to take the province further, right? But in terms of, writing, it's in me, right? I saw, even if I can just have to write an email, I'll put in a lot of things.
I get it.
It comes automatically. That one I can't stop writing.
I get it.
Maybe in future, one of the things that I can consider, like I mentioned earlier when we were here talking about these books, maybe venturing into a film industry. We've got the likes of Mr. Siarul with resources.
Why not?
Taking one of, my books, translate it into a movie or into a series or into something, right? Because I write a lot, honestly. But the same way, the Benjamin generation, as I said, it did cause a stir seriously in the past, of which people are still demanding it, right?
Yeah.
It's just the issue
I also wanted.
Yeah, people actually wanted a volume 2 of it, right? So, and others were suggesting that we can really take this book and turn it into, rewrite it into some sort of, a book that can be written, it can be produced into a film, right? Because he's talking about a lot of things, actually. If we talk about it,
we're not gonna finish, guys.
Including all of them, they are fully packed with these books.
I can imagine all the names are very interesting. Let me just quickly repeat these names, guys. It's the Benjamin generation and also Junita. Junior Arise, the apostolic woman in the front line. Oh my God.
It's specifically for women, that book,
Guys, can we talk about this book next week? Because it's Women's Month. Lord, Speak to the Mountain, the anthology, and then the attributes of the sent one. Oh, guys, please get yourself these books. As this guy, Dr. Kgabage, he said he's not. I don't know how we're gonna get his books, but you need to provide these books.
Yeah.
And by the way, the next event is 26th November. This is our final. This is how we are done. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
No, thank you very much.
I really appreciate it. I enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah.
You're such an amazing person. There's more to you. I believe that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, by the 26th of November, event here, BBGMA, the second. Lovely. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And next week, what Onika podcast, spicy and chili.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Need a photographer for an event? Then we've got you covered. At Nab Photography, we do all shoots, events, weddings, studio shoots, outdoors and indoor shoots, and many more. For more information, call or WhatsApp 078 104 2546. Follow or DM us on any social media platform at Nab Photography on Facebook, Nab_photography on Instagram, or email us on nabphoto@gmail.com. Join the Nab family and we've got you covered.
Wi-Fi
You're so gorgeous. Libizon, largesse. Les balles qui va m'atteler, hold on, aloli que Jesu, ya bubelo, baka. Libizon, largesse. Les balles qui va m'atteler, hold on, aloli que Jesu, ya bubelo, baka. Can we sing it? Say, keep it on like Jesus. Keep it on. Never keep a matter. Hold on. I'll leave it just so. Yeah, we'll be Lord. Can go and come to yours. Yes. When I chase when I chase Mama, let you have a pillow of soca. And come into I'm getting ready to your